Hi everyone, welcome to our testing session. So this session we are conducting on based on Women Who Code Hyderabad season. So the main aim of Women Who Code Hyderabad is we wanted to give a second career to women who have stopped their career in between for some or the other reason. So we have multi-talented people but due to some or the other reason we stopped the career. So just wanted to give a drop in the ocean from our side so that it will be helpful to you all to come back and regenerate. So the mission of Women Who Code is inspiring women to excel in technology careers. And the vision over here is a world where diverse women are better represented as engineers and tech leaders. The code of everywhere we have a code of conduct, so we need to follow this code of conduct. Be it in a family or wherever we go, we have a code of conduct, so we have to adhere to it. So this is a code of conduct from Women Who Code. Okay, today I'm not sure if there are new joiners, but if there are new joiners, request them to sign up for Women Who Code. And not only new joiners, existing team members over here, please network it to your friends. It might be useful to somebody. So just in your network, try to discuss about it and make it a successful event. Okay, so this is about Women Who Code. Now let's go back to our technology, that is testing technology. We all are aspired to become quality analyst specialist, quality software engineers. Okay, I would do a new share. So today, let me know, I am giving you all an option. Do you all want to hear defect management or test plan? Let me know which one do you all want me to take it over.
Test plan?
Yeah, for me also test plan.
Okay. Fine. Okay, so let's
see what else they have around here.
Can you please go on mute if somebody is not talking? There is some background noise. Okay, thank you. Okay, so what is the test plan? Before going to test plan, let me like any one of y'all can you all tell me what is a plan? Basic English term.
It's a set of activities that are recorded or that are written down much before than executing something, so that the action goes as per the plan.
Yeah, accurately defined. Thank you. So we all have plans. Okay, in order to in house or anywhere, in order to achieve something, we need to have a plan. Without plan, if we do, that is not successful. Yeah, it might be successful. I wouldn't say there are people who instantly are very spontaneous. They try to plan it within seconds, but within that there is 1 or 2 minutes of planning that is being done. Without a plan, you cannot do an action. Okay, so in order to do some sorry, I go always towards cooking because my area of interest apart from testing, teaching.
Yeah, I'm not able to hear anything. Is it for me or me? I'm also not able to hear.
We can't hear her.
Disha, we can't hear you.
Okay, so I was talking about the plan. In order to do any task, we try to plan. Let it be anything in our life. We try to do some sort of at least 1 second of planning is required to do something. Okay, so similarly in testing life cycle, we have to create a plan called as test plan document. This is an important document. Okay, this test plan is the document where we write different sections. Okay, like as soon as a requirement is being given to us, we try to understand the requirements and we try to get an high level overview of what needs to be tested and what is out of scope. So these two are important terms: in scope and out of scope. Okay, in scope means what is that I would be testing, and out of scope what is that I wouldn't be testing. So in this document, these two are the important things. Okay, so if I don't mention these things, the client will be in an assumption that okay, this testing team will be testing everything. If something fails, then it will be on us that we haven't covered. But if this document is present, you can clearly show to the client or a manager, or let it be anyone, we can show them this as a proof. This is a document where we documented that this is what is our plan. This is the way we are going to test. These are our scenarios. This is when I am going to start my testing. This is the date when I am going to end my testing. This is the environment which I am using. This is a place where I will store my documents. These are the team members involved in this project. Who is a business analyst? Who is the product owner? When is the test life cycle going to begin? When it is going to complete the testing? The time frame. What are the risks in it? If I don't get the build on this date, means if the software is not deployed on this date, what is the risk? What is the mitigation plan for it? Okay, I'll pause for a second over here. I have told many things. Okay, did you all get it?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
Thank you. So test plan is an important document. It is a foundation for our testing, the first stone for our house, like that. It will be having all the details. Like for example, when you're trying to build a house also, we will have a plan. Similarly, in order to develop a product, deliver it successfully, we have this document called as test plan. Okay, just anybody, when they ask a question for test plan, you all have to tell a test plan is a document which consists all these details. Okay, usually a test plan is prepared by the test lead or the test manager. Okay, so I'm able to hear echo. Mm, is anyone on speaker, please? Okay, fine. Let me go
I
ahead.
think medical contact one. Yes.
Can you all please go on mute?
Yes.
Yeah, there is some background sound as well as it is echoing for me. Yeah, thank you. So let me go ahead with the till now I was trying to explain you all like what are the sections. Now let us go into the details. What are the attributes that are present in the test plan? Like what is the aim of this test plan? What is the objective of this test plan? So the initial first section in the test plan would be the test plan objective. it is called as the aim. What is my aim? What is a goal that I'm achieving in this um, cycle or in this release? That is what we are going to write in the first section, aim. Scope. Scope is in scope, out of scope. What is in scope for me? What is the requirements that are covering? Client has given you 10 requirements. Out of 10 requirements, you are able to do only 7 requirements. The other three requirements are performance testing. You are a manual tester. You cannot do performance testing. Or else there are some technical stories that only a developer can test it. Some code related things. So they will be out of scope. In scope is whatever we can do. Those stories we will list under scope. So whenever we send client this document, he will understand by looking into this section. Okay, that Risha is going to test these stories. Apart from this, everything is listed in out of scope, so she will not test them. If the client feels that I have written incorrectly some one story which is in out of scope and he's expecting me to test it, he will tell, Visha, this story, why did you write in out of scope? It should be in scope. I think you all can test it. Then we can get a clarification. How can we test it? So the discussion there only we can try to get the issues resolved instead of waiting till the last moment once the product is deployed and once it is released to the production. Waiting till that moment, this test plan gives us a very clear picture. That is why we write this test plan. Okay, the next section is approach. Approach is nothing but how are you going to test it? What is your approach for testing that particular functionality? Suppose if we are taking Book My Show application. Okay, so what is the approach that I'm going to follow? So like I will write, log into the UI should be displayed, not in very detail, but by logging into the application, I would like to verify all these functionalities. So I would be writing the approach over there. The testing methodology is like, what testing methodology are we using? Is it agile methodology? Second. See, testing methodology is like what type of testing needs to be done and what type of testing need not to be done. Like, see, I told we are manual testing people, so I will be doing only smoke, functional, and all these things, but I will not be doing performance testing. I would not be doing acceptance testing. So clearly in this part we will be telling that we will do a smoke testing every day, we will do the functionality testing, and that is system testing. Okay, here, since these two terms came up, let me cover these two. So last time, I think we did not get a chance to discuss what is system testing and what is integration testing. These two are different types of testing. System testing is nothing but suppose you take some application, take Amazon application only. So the Amazon application, you're trying to do an end-to-end flow testing. End-to-end flow in the sense, the moment I keep the URL in the, I enter it on the Chrome, okay, from there till the payment is successful message, the whole functionality, okay, if we are testing it on a whole, we are trying to do a system testing over there. That is called as system testing, and that too in SIT environment. Okay, I hope you all remember we have different environments. We have an environment for developer called as dev environment. We call something as SIT environment, system integration testing environment. That is for us, for the testing team. And then we have UAT, user acceptance testing. So whatever testing we do in our environment is called system testing. Okay, friends, are you all clear till here? System testing. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so now I would like to tell you all about integration testing. When we are talking about integration testing, I hope in one of our session, if you'll remember, I told you all two approaches, top down and bottom up approach. Okay, so this integration testing, I'm trying to take a whiteboard here. No, 1 second, if I can. I am not getting today that whiteboard. Mm. Okay, fine. Let me tell like this only. So this integration testing is divided into two. Okay, one is top-down approach, other one is bottom-up approach. Okay, in this integration testing, what we are doing is like we are trying to develop small modules. As in agile, for 2 sprints, you are doing only one small part of the software. You are not completing the whole software. So in integration, what we do is like we try to test parts, small pieces of the software, and then we try to integrate them and do the integration testing. So in integration testing, we I was telling you two terms: top down and bottom up approach. So in this top down and bottom up approach, what we are doing is like it is nothing but it both of them have modules, but in top down is nothing but it is trying, there is a parent folder module. When I tell about module is nothing but a small software. Let me tell you all, log into Amazon. The first you are entering the URL in the Google Chrome. So that is your one module that the developer has developed. Okay, so log in into the Google Chrome using Amazon URL. That is one module. Okay, after that the developer did not develop. Okay, so but I want to do an integration testing. So what I am doing is like I am trying to use dummy softwares. Okay, actual code is not there. It is a dummy piece of code. Mm, Actually, it is not working. What is not working? The second part of it. As soon as I log in, the second part of it is like I'm not able to see the sections, like women section, kids section, something. That is the second page, you'll think, as soon as I enter the URL. So that is not fully developed, but there is a dummy piece of code. They just put the screenshot or something over there. So I am trying to test it by using this dummy software over there. So this is nothing but top down approach. Okay, we call it as stubs and drivers. Okay, the parent is the URL, the child is the second page of it. So the child code is not present. Okay, only the parent code is present. Then what we are doing, we are trying to do a top down approach called as integration testing. Similarly, bottom up approach. Few people will tell, see, I don't want URL and all that. Every application, I know I can put, I can use some third party software. I can get the code from there. But I want the final product. I want my end product only. Parent software will try to get it from somewhere. But my specific company's software, which is the end product, you develop that first and then you give me. They are telling, I let me give an example. So take a football example. Okay, he's telling, the customer is telling, I don't know what you want to put inside the football, but I want the outer layer of it, something like that. Okay, how fancy the outer layer would be looking, you first show me that. Inside, it's up to you which material you want to use, what you want to put into it, but now you show me the how does it look, the final picture of it you show me. Internal parts, whatever you want, you do it later on. So over here, there is no starting step at all. You don't have starting base software, you don't have, but the final product he wants to see. So what we are doing, as a tester, what I did is like the stuffing material, I try to use some papers or something, and only the final outer layer I prepared something well. I took a resin or some material, the outer layer I prepared, but inside I thought let me do it later. So I have stuffed in some papers and I showed the end product. So my final product, that the outer layer, I try to show the exactly what I'm going to use with the companies. Suppose we are trying to do a Nike football or something. So I try to use a proper material for it and I demoed it. So the the top first priority software is not there, but the down one is there. Okay, so this is what bottom up approach. Okay, somebody, if you are not talking, can you all please go on mute? So you all understood what is top-down approach and bottom-up approach. So we use dummy software modules over here called as stubs and drivers. In bottom-up, we call drivers. Means the top portion of it is not there. My papers, my stuffing material, which is the initial thing, that is not there. So that is my driver program. So I use something driver program, some dummy papers. Actually, we should have some material over there, but he wants the final product, the client. So I only showed the end product. So I prepared that. So my last step is ready, but my initial step is not there. So this is called bottom up approach, and papers are nothing but the first that modules are called drivers. Similarly, in top down approach, we call it as stubs. These are called dummy programs. Okay, fine. Got it, friends? Integration testing and system testing. Can I go ahead? Any doubts or any clarifications? Do you all want me to slow down? Any feedback? Can I proceed?
Yes, Visa, you can proceed.
Okay, fine. So I just explained you all system testing and integration testing. So in testing methodologies, we are writing in the test plan, like what is the testing methodology that I would be using. So we will be writing system testing. Always as a manual testers, we will do system testing. Then the next section of the test plan is schedule. Schedule is nothing but we will be writing when would my system testing get started, when like means initially it will be like requirement analysis, when I would be doing the requirement analysis, when I will do my test plan, when I will be writing my test cases. This RTM, I will cover it later on. Okay, as of now, just RTM is nothing but requirement traceability matrix. It is a document which will shows the coverage of the test cases for a particular requirement. How many test cases you have written for a particular requirement is a requirement traceability matrix. We'll anyways cover in the next section. Okay, next session. As of now, just to remember there is something called as RTM. So in the schedule we are writing like when at what date what we are going to do. Similar to suppose take there is some marriage event in our house. We will be having okay, this day mehendi function. This day we will have any other function, something like that. Reception. Then marriage is on this day. Then we have some Sangeet function. Similarly, for test plan, we will be having the schedule, like when we are going to do the requirement analysis, when we are going to write the test plan, when we are going to write the test cases, when is the actual execution being started, when we will complete it, if there are any defects, when are we till what is the time frame we are going to track those defects, and how much percentage of the defects are acceptable, how much percentage of testing. If 80% of the test cases are covered successfully, then only we will give provide sign off. Then finally test execution report. So all these things will be present in the test plan. The next section is test environment. Test environment is we will be giving the hardware details as well as software details, which is a our specific system where you are testing, those configuration details we will be giving. Okay, and then what are the assumptions and risks, like we will be telling if there are more than 20% defects, critical defects coming, that is a big risk. So what is a mitigation plan for it? If you all are not going to deploy the build by this date, we cannot test it. What is a mitigation plan for it? So all those assumptions, risks, mitigation, contingency plan will be given in the test plan. Okay. Similar, then next deliverables. Deliverables we will be telling like once we finish our testing, these are the deliverables that we are going to provide to the customer to give it to give a sign off from them that it was a successful testing product. The test plan document, test scenario document, test cases, RTM document, defect report, test execution report. So all these are deliverables that we would be delivering from a testing team. Okay, next comes the effort estimation. So effort estimation, nowadays we don't write it. Okay, this is previous things. Then this is important. Entry exit criteria. When I am going to start my testing, if I get the unit testing results from the developer, then only I will start my testing. What is the entry criteria? They will ask. Okay, what is the entry criteria for testing? So you should tell. Once I get a demo from the developer, and if I get the testing results, unit testing results, whatever testing the developer does, that is nothing but unit testing, white box testing, unit testing. If I get those results, I'm happy to start my testing. That is my entry criteria. When would I stop my testing? If I have covered 80% of my test cases successfully with no priority, zero defects. Okay. Zero high priority or critical defects. We cannot tell 100% there are no defects. If there are low priority, I'll explain you all about priority later. But as of now, basic English term, low priority means very minor issues. If they are there, okay, we will go ahead and stop testing. That would be my stopping criteria. You stop testing at that moment. Okay. Fine. There are few things over here. When the application functionality is stable, when we have to stop testing, when the application functionality is stable, or else when there are too many blocker in the sense you are not able to proceed at all. You all have logged into Amazon, and it is not allowing us to go to second page. Internal server error, there is some server error issue. So that is a blocker bug. You cannot do anything, you cannot do shopping at all. So what can we do over there? So at that time you cannot test anything. So at that moment also, that is one of the criteria to stop your testing. Okay, then the next thing is, we thought only we'll test it for 2 weeks of time, but it is not ending at all. We are not able to complete the functionality. The deadline is going on exceeding. Okay, we are asking for another week, but the functionality is not at all getting stabilized. Then also you have to stop your testing. Why we are not able to complete testing? Because of issues only, we will not be able to stop testing. So that is the reason we have to stop until this is the issue we are facing. Get that fixed and then only start your testing. Okay, then we will have automation also. One section will be there. Test automation is nothing but, suppose if you are trying to implement some automation like smoke testing. We are planning to use an automation tool. So 10% is automation. If somebody is not speaking, can you all please go on mute? We are able to hear some background noise. Okay, thank you. So automation also will be mentioning. Suppose if we are not doing any automation, we have to mention that we are not going to do any automation. Suppose in the team, if we have some automation expert or something, we should tell, okay, our automation engineers will be covering this particular part, and the scope of it, like only this particular page they are going to automate. What is the scope of automation also we need to define. Then comes defect tracking. How are we going to track the defects? So once I explain the defect life cycle, you will understand that section we have to write over here. Okay, like how are we going to track the defects? What is the severity, priority? How am I going to define my severity and priority? So all those things will be covered under test plan. Okay, and we'll also have a section where how many team members are involved, who is a test manager for our team, who is a test lead, how many QA test engineers are there. So all those details will be there in the document, test plan document. Okay, so are you all clear with the test plan document, friends? Any questions on test plan before I moving on to the next topic? Once we create the test plan, we will send it for approval. Once you get the approval, then only we will start our test case writing. Okay. Any questions till now? Whatever we have covered, any questions on it, on the test plan part?
Visa, in the test plan document, we will have the test environment details also, right?
Yes, yes, yeah. I'm not
Okay,
sure who's
thank you.
talking, so I cannot tell the name, but we have it here.
It's okay. Thank you.
If everybody are clear, I would like to go with the next topic, defect life cycle. Today is my last session and I have to cover many of the topics. Please let me know if any questions or anything. Can we be a little bit quick, please?
Okay, just want to know, is there like a period of time for testing?
Sorry, can you please repeat?
I say, is there like a period of time, a specific period of time for mainly for testing, like a week or two? I don't know.
Is there a specific period of time for testing?
Yes.
Yes. See, suppose if you're following agile methodology, okay, you have 2 weeks of sprint. Okay, you remember that, na? Like every 2 weeks we call it as a sprint. In this 2 weeks of duration, the first week will be for developers and for you to analyze the requirement. Okay, and then as a tester, what you would be doing, you would be creating your test cases. In agile, we don't write test plan. Okay, in what we create only once this test plan, test strategy document. In waterfall, we used to write this test plan. Means few projects follow, but few projects don't follow. So we write test plan, then you do test case creation. Test case creation is mandatory, be it waterfall, be it agile. Then your testing time frame, test execution time period starts. So that is your, they will be giving you the second week is your testing execution time period. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Fine. Are we good to go for defect life cycle?
We're good to go.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So let's come to our main role. Okay, we have been as a tester, you will be playing multiple roles. You will be means multiple phases. We have one phase we will be doing planning, one phase we will be an writer, an author. Like the requirement is our own baby. We'll try to analyze it, and we will think about different scenarios how to test it. So now the main trait of a tester, that is defects. We try to find the defects, but after finding the defects, what shall we do? So that for that I'm going to explain you all the defect life cycle, defect management life cycle. Okay, we have different tools for tracking these defects. Okay, but today I would not go through the tools and all. I am just explaining how should we log the defect, what is the defect management life cycle. Okay, as soon as we identify a defect, what we need to do is like we need to prioritize a defect. Okay, uh, if you don't prioritize your defect, the problem what will happen is that you have to report it to the developer first. Okay, after the reporting, you cannot sit quietly when a defect is there, because we as a testers we try to break the code and find the defects. If we don't report that defects, what it will happen, it will go to the production and it will be, the server will go down over there. So once we find out the defect, the first step we have to do is we have to raise the defect, we have to report the defect. So what you will do is like you are creating a defect. Creation of a defect is nothing but it will be in open status. As soon as you create a new defect, it will be in open status. Okay, the first step, did you all understand? I'm just trying to, okay. They have given different terminologies over here, like defect is also called as bug. error, or a failure. And we all know what is a defect. Defect is nothing but any deviation from the requirement. Like anything that is incorrect is nothing but a defect. The functionality, whatever is given in the HLD, LLD, or a story anywhere, if it is not working as per the expected, then that is a defect for us. So as soon as we find a defect, the first step what we are going to do is we try to create a defect, and as soon as we create a defect, that will be in a status called open status. Okay, fine. It will be in open or else new status. Initially it will be new status as soon as we create it. When the developer tries to click it, it will go to open status, or else even you can put it in open status and tell the developer, see, I have created this new defect and I'm putting an open status for you to work on it. So this is your first step. The second is, once the development lead looks into the issue, he or she will try to figure out who can work on it. There will be multiple developers. Everyone will be doing one module. So everybody will not take all the defects. They will be specialized in few of them. So the devel lead will assign to the particular developer who has developed that module in which the defect has come. We cannot go ahead and assign a defect. For example, you went to a restaurant and if you ask for pizza, I cannot give you a burger. That is a defect that is a fault. Okay. And I am good at preparing only burger. I cannot prepare pizza. So the chef cannot tell me you prepare pizza. He will lose his customers. Similarly, the dev lead has to analyze what is the skill set that the developer has, who can fix the defect, which area they are specialized. Whoever has done that particular development, that person they will give the failure, whatever, because he has developed it. He is a person who can find out easily and he can fix it. That is why the dev lead assigns to the particular developer to fix the code. Once the developer fixes the code, it will be in fixed status. Okay, and then he will give us for testing. Okay, different steps are there, I will tell you all, but as of now the life cycle is, you open a defect, it gets assigned to the developer fixes it. After fixing, the test engineer or the quality analyst, the quality control team, the quality assurance team members, whoever has tested it, will retest it. And as I'm trying to include another term over here, like regression testing. We try to do even regression testing as a as one of the best tester. You have to always do regression testing when you're doing the retesting, in order to see there are no other areas that got impacted by this small fix. The developer might have fixed, but he might this whatever new code he has inserted, it might affect the other part of the code. So we, as a good QA engineer, we have to always do regression testing for that page wherever he has done the fix. And then if it is working absolutely fine according to the requirements, go ahead and close it. If it is not working still, go ahead and reopen the defect. So this is the defect bug life cycle. Okay, if you all are clear with this, I will go with each and every step in detail. What happens in defect life cycle? What are the different statuses? So are we good till here? Did you all understand the defect life cycle? Any questions? Am I audible, friends? Any issues?
Yes, Rita, you are audible. We don't have any questions.
Okay, fine. Yeah, thank you. So now we understood the bug life cycle. Now let us go into what are the different statuses involved in the bug life cycle. Okay. So let's see this. Test T means a test engineer. Test engineer means we, testing team. Okay, each individual is called as a test engineer. We found one defect. Okay, So once I found the defect, I will raise the defect. It will be in open status. Okay. If it is an valid defect, then the dev lead will analyze it and assign it to a developer. And suppose if the defect is not a valid defect, that means I raised an invalid defect. I raised a defect which is not correct. Okay, I felt it is a mistake. So I thought it is not working as per the expectation. So I raised it, but the dev lead analyzed it and he told, see, as per the functionality, they did not mention it and it is working as expected only for us. Your system might be some issue. You go ahead and check it out, something like that. So if it is an invalid, what they do is that they reject the defect. It will be in rejected status. Okay, suppose there are two test engineers and they have opened the same defect, then it goes to a duplicate defect. Okay, this is another status. Suppose I have opened a defect which I am able to, I was able to do it once, but when I'm showing it to the dev lead, when he's trying to do it from in his system, he's not able to reproduce it. So that is not reproducible. That is another category. Okay. Now let's go to another one. Like there is a particular defect. It is a valid defect only, but the dev lead says we cannot do that in this particular sprint. In this particular release, we cannot accommodate it. The functionality is an enhancement. Whatever you found it can be done in the next release only. So that will be postponed or deferred the status. It will be postponed to the next release, deferred to the next release. Okay. Now let's talk about one full life cycle. See, I opened a defect, the dev lead assigned to the developer, it got fixed. I again tested it. Okay, but it is not working fine. So what I do, I reopen it. If it is working fine, I close it. Okay, there are two things over here. Okay, regarding postponed and request for an enhancement. Suppose if they don't have the time to fix it, they try to postpone or defer it. If it is a new functionality which I have found it out from my testing, I feel that there is something that that can be done, and the requirement is not clear. Means in the requirement document it was not given, but the product owner or the business or the client agrees that yeah, this functionality should have been there. For example, you take addition of two numbers. Addition of two numbers in the sense double digit. Okay, addition of double digit they told. So the developers have done addition of double digit, but when I'm trying to do a carryover, it is not happening. Double digit meant it has to be a carryover also, na? Addition with carryover. That is a basic functionality. I will be arguing with them. Double digit you are telling without carryover means how? So the client, but the developer says they did not mention carryover, na, so I did not do it. So I raised a bug. What the client did, okay, this is an expected functionality. Even we thought, but fine. Since it was a miss in the requirement, it was not explicitly given in the requirement. We will work on it as an enhancement. So request for an enhancement. So I are clear with this word enhancement. If it is a duplicate defect, if it is a rejected, when it would be rejected, when it would be postponed, when we will reopen the defect. Are you all clear with all these things? Clear, friends? Or going
Visha,
above?
that postponed or defect, can you please give an example for that?
Okay, fine. See, postponed or deferred is like there is a particular defect. Let me. There is one. 2 weeks of sprint time frame. On the last day of testing, I found a defect. Okay. Developers don't have time to fix it. It is a major defect. It is not high. It is not blocking anything, but it is major only. Major defect. So it can be major or it can be low priority also. So what the manager says is, okay, we have only 1 day of time. We cannot fix it. It is taking time consuming task to develop and test it. So what we will do is like we take a acceptance from the product owner saying that, see, this is a particular defect which cannot be fixed in this release. It is a defect, we accept, but we cannot be developing it due to the time constraints. So we will be deferring or postponing to the next release. Next sprint, we will try to accommodate this particular bug on priority. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Visha,
Okay, thank
what
you.
is hi Visha? What is not reproducible? Can you explain that again?
Not reproducible, na?
Yeah.
Okay. So in my system, when I was testing, I was able to I did few steps and I was able to get a server error 500. Okay. My colleague who has also same time, okay, take some IST, 11 a.m. IST, both of us have tested. At that point of time, we were able to, there was some on the back end, some job is running. We are not aware of it. We both of them logged into the system and we are able to see that the server error we are getting. We went and we told the developer, see, we are raising a defect server error 500. The developer, what he did is like after 10 minutes, he logged in after we telling. The job has completed in the backend. Okay, job got completed successfully. And when he logged in, he's able to log into the UI successfully. He's not able to reproduce the error 500. He will be telling, where am I able to reproduce you? I don't know how we all got it. He will again tell, okay, Visha, you show me in your system. Now you log in. When I log in, it will log in, so I'm not able to reproduce that error 500 in front of him. So he will just close the defect saying not reproducible. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Until unless he will try and debug like what is happening on the back end, he will not understand that why it happened. So the developer needs to analyze and then say, okay, at this time the job was running, so only it happened. But without that, the developers will be very smart. Okay, they will not tell all those details for us. So we, as a tester, we need to, whenever you all are testing, need to not only see the UI. Okay, as a means I'm just trying to tell you all, we as a testers need to have little bit basic knowledge of database. And once this testing series is completed, I would suggest or think as a request or something, little bit SQL basics. Okay, database, we need to know the back end of the system also. We all need to be not only manual functional testers, there's a role called as techno functional. Okay, we should be little bit technically also strong. Techno functional role we have to play. We need to understand the back end database, what is happening. It's not only the UI that we need to concentrate always. So when you know the backend, we are the best testers, and we can break the code easily. Okay, fine. Enough. If I go into that, we will be going on talking. So now you all understood the defect life cycle, the different stages. Are we good friends with the defect life cycle?
So, Visha, is that like for being a tester, we need to be strong in coding also, something like that?
No. No. I'm not sure like who is talking.
Nisha, I'm Nisha.
Nisha. Okay.
Nisha. Yeah.
Nisha. Okay. Nisha. See, I'm not telling we have to be developers also. Code in the sense. Small sequels here, like say on the UI. Now take Amazon example only. When you're trying to there is a search criteria, so there would be a drop down. Drop down is nothing but you get a list of list over there, like which suppose you take clothes section only. So do you want to have kids, women, or like that? A drop down will be coming, men wear, women wear, something like that. That list will be displayed now. Okay, so in that list, how is it getting populated successfully or not? You need to check that. On the UI it is coming, but from where it is coming, there is a database at the back end. Okay, in order for you to validate whether this drop down details, whatever is coming is correct or not, you need to go check in the DB. DB is nothing but there is a particular server at the back end. Think DB as some machine where all the details are present. We are trying to retrieve the data from there. We are trying to fetch the data from there. Okay, think suppose um, a well. Okay, a well is nothing but you have water in that. If whenever we need water, what we do, we go and fetch the water from that well. So whenever we need some inputs, some data on the screen on the UI, we try to go to that database and pull the data, pull the required information from there. So you need to validate na. If like suppose in the well, if there is no water, we cannot get water na. So you need to go see first water is there in that well or not na. So similarly, in database also, if we write small queries here, like we something called a SQL, okay, SQL. You just do a Google, okay, whenever you have some free time. It's small comments. Select star from one line. This thing. So those small things, SQL. If you learn enough basics of SQL, select command, insert command. So it will help us in our testing. Apart from that, no, coding is another big ocean, so that is not required for us. Apart from this manual testing, because nowadays the technology is fully robotic automation everywhere. So whatever task we are doing manually, they tell it can be replaced by a robot. We have some new technologies called as RPA and all. So if we know the SQL code and all, it will ease our work, and also we can tell, yeah, what is my use over here? Not only finding out the defects, but whatever I am testing, I am giving a valid product over here. Got it, Nisha?
Okay, Usha, thank you. Got it.
Yeah, thank you. So I am just trying to tell you earlier, like different ways we can learn and show the difference in a crowd of 10 people. How to differentiate us alone, like how good am I? For that little bit extra work. That's it. Now I told you about defect lifecycle. The next important term in defect lifecycle is whenever you are trying to identify a defect, we need to tell what is the severity and priority of the defect. This is important. Okay. After raising a defect, you cannot simply give it to developer and leave it. It is our responsibility to be back of him and getting it resolved. In order to get it resolved, how can we get it resolved? Is I need to tell him this is a high priority, high severity defect. High priority and high severity defect in the sense, severity is nothing but how is it affecting the application? Is the application not at all working? Okay, if that means the application is totally crashing, it is affecting the application lot, then we tell high severity. It is a very severe bug. I cannot proceed my testing at all. It is halting my testing. It is a showstopper for me. It is a blocker defect for me. So those defects we classify under high severity, high priority defects. Am I clear? Priority is nothing but when he should fix it. Based on the severity, the priority will come. Severity is nothing but how much the application is getting affected. Priority means what is the rate of speed I need to fix the issue. Is it a low priority? Low priority means fine, it is a small minor issue, I can fix it later on. High priority means it needs to be fixed immediately. High severity, it is affecting the application a lot, so high severity. Low severity means it is a minor bug, only button name button name is incorrect, something like that. Like low priority, low severity. It is not affecting the application. The functionality is working fine, but the thing is name of the button is incorrect. Getting friends? Are we good? Severity and priority, because now I would go in little bit deeper into these terms, high priority, severity and all. Did you all understand what is meant by priority and severity first?
Yes, it is understood.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So sometime I would like to tell you all how to give this high severity and all. Mm, there would be, give me a second here. I would like to show you all one no share. Okay, let me know. Are you all able to see this PPT? I shared another PPT now.
Yes, we are
Yes,
able to see.
Okay, so in severity, will be having these major four parts: critical, major, medium, low. Means how critical the bug is, like how much it is impacting the system. Mm, So critical, major, medium, low. In priority, we have low, medium, high. High priority, people's term, high priority, medium priority defect, low priority defect. So these are the different terms they will be using. Okay, now this is the last slide for severity and priority. See, always as a tester, remember, though the severity is less, sometimes you need to give as a high priority. Okay, for example, see the example over here only. There is a logo. Okay, the logo of the company is incorrect. Okay, that is not affecting any functionality. It is not creating an issue at all. But it is a company's what to tell, like the company name over there. It is a branded name. If that itself is incorrect, it is not good. Though the functionality is not getting affected, it doesn't look good as a organization. So that is a high priority defect, though low severity, but it should be fixed immediately, because people look at the logo and then log in. See, there are many sites, but we only log into Amazon, the authenticated trusted sites, because of the security issues or something. So be it any company aside, put aside security or anything, but the logo of the company cannot be incorrect. So that should be fixed on priority. So we need to understand, you need to analyze whether it is how, what is the priority that I can give to a defect. Okay, fine. So this is one example. Now see this. It is a high severity but low priority. Sometimes it is affecting the application a lot, but still we are telling fine, we can fix it later on. So based on the priority only, the developers will fix the defects. Okay, see, for example, for flight operating website, there is a defect in reservation functionality. Okay, it may be of high severity because people are not able to get their tickets booked. But fine, manually we are able to a small defect, we are able people are, there is small defect over there, but still we are able to, there's an alternative process of getting the tickets reserved for them. So they're telling fine, you can fix it later on. As of now it is working, let it continue, like that. So this is the difference of severity and priority. So with this we complete our defect life cycle. Any questions on defect life cycle yet? If this is done, I would like to cover one more thing. I'll take another 10 minutes. I know if it is too much, let me know. But I want to take some more time on another new topic. Mm. So test plan, defect life cycle. Any questions to me? Are we good friends? Is it going beyond bouncing or the anything? Do you all want me to slow down my pace?
So we are good.
No.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So we are done with test plan. We are done with the defect life cycle. Now I would like to cover the test cases. Okay, for test cases, I would share again. Okay, before I go to the test test cases, see how we report a defect. Okay, there would be a defect ID which are you all able to see my screen? I am sharing a defect report template.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, fine. Yeah, thank you. So, how the defect looks? Okay, we will be using some tools. Okay, JIRA or Quality Center, QTest. So as soon as we click on create defect, that would be defect ID that would be populating. We need to write for which requirement ID we are logging the defect, in which build, whatever code they have deployed, which build the fix we got the issue. We need to give that build number, release, the priority, the severity, the status will be open when we are creating a new defect, which environment did we find the defect, what is the test data that we have used. Okay, and who has found the defect, the reporter name, whom we are assigning the defect, and what's the description, a brief description summary. We have to write the steps how we found that defect, steps to reproduce. We have to tell, open the browser, enter the details, log in, where we found the issue, everything we have to write. What is the expected result, what was the actual result, we have to attach the screenshots. Okay, so this is how the defect looks. These are the different fields when we log a defect. Okay, any questions on defect template? If there are no questions, I would go with the next one, that is test cases. Okay, so test cases is nothing but as a it's all about your thinking skills here. If you all ask me, from my experience and all, whenever there is an application or whenever there is a requirement given to you all, what I would suggest everyone is like, try to analyze the requirement thoroughly first thing. Okay, you all need to understand it fully. You all need to there is no product in front of you all, but you all have to imagine how the product looks like. We will have the screenshots. Okay, the business will give the screenshots also. Nowadays they provide the screenshots, visual diagrams and all. So we need to imagine that, and then we have to come up with our scenarios. So first create your test scenarios, and then break down your test scenarios into test cases. Test cases would be the granular level of your scenarios. Okay, and when you are creating your test cases, what I would say is, in the last session we have learned about boundary value analysis, equivalence class partition, then decision based approach. So decision based, so for test data you all can use, but equivalence and boundary value analysis you all can implement. Okay, instead of writing all the like 1 to 100 and all, you all can pick and you all can do those boundary value analysis, equivalence class partitions and all. 1 second here. So those are the few techniques for writing the test cases. Apart from that, what I would say is like, every screen you have to write in detail. Suppose login page only, we have to write and using Chrome, using IE, using Mozilla, am I able to log in successfully? That would be your one thing. URL, when you enter the URL, there is something called, try to enter different special characters in the URL and see whether you all are able to navigate to the page. If you all are able to navigate by entering some special characters in the URL, then that is a defect. So this is one way of getting the defect. Okay, your test case would be, first test case would be a straight through processing. That is your happy path. Am I able to log in successfully when I give the URL? That is, am I able to see login homepage with the logo present over there, with the whatever fields are there on the screen, username, password. For each and everything, you need to write special test case. One test case needs to be present. If for username, you have to write 2 to 3 test cases. Okay, like you need to write 2 to 3 test cases. Like if they are telling 8 characters, I repeated in the previous class also. If alphanumeric, special characters, if can I give blank? Can I give only one character? So all different permutations and combinations, you can write these test cases. These are all nothing but your test cases. Okay. Fine. Yeah. So this is like next session. I will see if we can give one UI. We can pick one UI, and we can ask you all to go ahead and write some test cases. That would be one of the assignment for you all. So we'll understand like how you all are thinking. So your main analyzing and thinking skills comes into picture when you all are writing test cases here. That is the main thing, and you all have to write your test cases such that it it will give you all a defect. Okay, at the end of the day, our main aim is to find the defects. So your test cases should be built in such way. Always have both positive and negative test cases. So that is on my test cases. See, suppose if you take if I'll see on my screen, this is book my show application. So movie, theater, timing, seat, payment, like this. So for movie, what are the different movies that are getting displayed is the functionality you think? Then we have to write, okay, different language on test case. Okay, if I take only English, what are the different movies being displayed on the screen? If I take Hindi, what are the different uh, um, sorry, pictures that needs to be displayed? Are the when I click on particular movie, what is the theater that is theater screen is getting opened or not? So in this way, as soon as I get a particular requirement, I need to immediately be thinking of different scenarios and how to build my test cases. So as a tester, this is another important thing. Test cases creation and finding the defects. Yeah, so I think I am good. Last time I told you all I will explain you all about test plan, writing test cases, and defect life cycle. Apart from this, did I tell anything else that I would be covering, friends? And remember, every button on the screen, you should have a separate test case. Do not miss anything. Though your test case count increases, no problem. Right, for everything. See for the login page only they wrote lowercase, uppercase, special characters, spaces between characters, everything positive, negative, each and everything you all need to write. Then only we will be able to find defects. Don't think that, oh, it's a small one, it will work, why can't it work? No, never do that. Always play with the application. Enter whatever you want. It is our freedom to enter. You can break the application. That is what we are for. Okay. Yeah. Friends, I am done with this. Anything that you all want me to cover apart from this? I think we are good with our topics for today. I covered everything here. Let me give a recap for whatever we have done till date. Like from the starting day for all the sessions till date, we have covered required first day when we all met, we covered like what is in IT team, how does a team look like, what are the different roles we have, where we fit in as a QA tester, what is our role, what is quality assurance, what is quality control, appraisal cost, preventive cost, failure cost, Then later on we spoke up with the different testing methodologies, like waterfall, V model, verification, validation, agile methodology, sprint, scrum, retrospective, grooming, checkpoint. Then we spoke about different types of testing: regression testing, retesting, smoke testing, sanity testing. Sanity testing is done when there is a defect. Smoke testing is like when a new functionality, new application is given to you all. In order to verify the function, the application, we are able to navigate successfully from one page to the next page. Initial smoke testing, in order to accept that I would test from tomorrow or today if the build is successful, that is called smoke testing. And then we spoke about the different environments. We have SIT, UAT, test plan, defect life cycle. And the different terms used, like build means whenever they are trying to deploy the new software, it is called as build. Builds are nothing but .jar files. Based on the software we use, the different build naming convention will be changed. Deploying to production means after retesting, it goes into production live. It deploying to the market. User acceptance testing we will do, and then it will be at that time in the production environment it will be done. Alpha testing, beta testing. Rework also they will tell. Rework means we worked on something, but again developer has fixed something, so we have to rework on the test case creation. The requirements has changed, so we have to rework on our test cases. CRQ is change requirement, like there is something requirement change, so they try to do a CRQ. Any other questions here? White box testing, black box testing. So this is all what I wanted to cover till date. If there are any questions, you all can always contact me. My number is available. If you all want, you all can note it down again. 957 30222937. So any questions you all have on manual testing or the topics which I have covered, you all can contact me at any time, or on weekends please, especially, because other days are a little bit busy with work. So I am good for today. Any questions or any clarifications, please let me know.
Visha, thanks for giving your number. Will you please share this file in group?
Yes, yeah, we will share it here. We will try to reformat, because it's an old document actually. We'll try to reformat and we'll send it across to you all. And Hari was telling there was some assignment given to you all. Can you all people who have completed it, please ignore, but rest of them, please can you all complete it by today, and try to do some Google, go to Edureka sites and all, and try to understand more on the new terms, agile, whatever you all are. Means if you all want to know more, you all can go to this website here. Edureka is one of the good site.
Sure, Visha.
Okay, thank you everyone. Yeah, I'll stop recording.